Hi, welcome back to Educator.com. This is the lesson on biological diversity. Alright, the basics. Biological diversity is the relative variety of life forms or number of species in an area. And the exact definition can vary depending on what people are talking about, and we'll get to that in a slide in a sec. Just a quick review, species versus population. You may have heard this before in this course or in biology, but a species is all the individuals, whether it's animal, plant, fungi, protist, bacteria, who can interbreed, who have the same kinds of DNA in terms of the genes that are able to interact to make offspring. But their exact sequences of DNA will of course vary, because even with bacteria that reproduce asexually, they still get mutations and they still have genetic variation. But if organisms have the ability or potential to mate and produce offspring, they are of the same species. Populations would be the individual groups of a species. So you could say that the entire species is made up of many populations. And if a species is close to extinction, there may be just one population left. But yeah, population is all the individuals of one species in a particular area. People value biodiversity for various reasons. One of them is a utilitarian reason. So utilitarian viewpoints have to do with benefits to people or individuals. So if having a certain number of species in an area has any benefit to people, that's a utilitarian reason for valuing it. Public service. This came up in a previous lesson. If there is natural capital, if there is some kind of benefit that the entire population of humans gets from nature, whether it's bees that are pollinating or a marsh that's getting rid of toxins and changing some kind of toxin into a non-toxic form over time, that's a public service reason for biodiversity in an environment. Ecological reasons. If food webs rely on a certain level of biodiversity, removing species from that food web, disrupting the ecological balance, well, that's not necessarily a good thing. So that's the reason that's ecological. Moral, the belief that every organism has value and the right to live, that's a moral approach to it, beyond just morality related to us. Theological, there are various religions where it may be the belief as part of that faith that God has created all of these organisms and you don't want to disturb God's creation. You want to be in harmony with it as much as possible. Now these other four, these are more regarding the intangibles. So some people may consider them to be not as important in terms of them being reasons for valuing biodiversity, but I'm including them. So aesthetic reasons, just the fact that it looks beautiful, having all this array of life in an environment, there's value to that. Recreational, if you like going whitewater rafting, on hikes, if you like camping, you certainly would have the point of view that there's a recreational value to having biodiversity in nature. Spiritual, if it gives you a better sense of yourself and kind of as being a part of the universe, maybe through meditation or just being at one with nature, biodiversity can have spiritual value. And finally, creative. You could claim that biodiversity has influenced artists, it's influenced writers, so inspiring them, there's value to that. Chameleons, pretty cool. Just one small part of biodiversity in rainforests.